Welcome to the Window Wisdom Podcast, your guide to replacement windows and more. Welcome to the Window Wisdom Podcast. I'm your host, Ted Kirk, co-founder of North Georgia Replacement Windows, and today's episode is truly a special one. This is a unique milestone, significant milestone in company history. We've been in business 20 years, and we have a new CEO that we brought into the business, Adam Mowbray. Welcome, Adam,
Thanks,
to the
Ted.
podcast.
Appreciate it.
It's great to have you. Um, got a lot of respect for Adam, and just wanted to introduce him publicly for the first time to our to the public, really, so everybody out there. So, Adam,
Yeah.
glad you're here, man.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. I mean, it's been about a little over 6 months, and it's just a fantastic journey so far. I look forward to all the things that we've done and look forward to the future. It's awesome.
Adam jumped right in. January 14th, I think,
I
was
think that's about right.
your official start day, and we sent you to San Diego on your first day to be fully immersed.
Not a bad first day. Yeah, not a bad first day.
Well, good. Well, let's just talk a little bit about how this came to be.
Sure.
I would say Adam was introduced to myself through a mutual connection, and he's he's a mentor to my son-in-law, who happens to be a salesperson here, and his mentor said, "Hey, I've got another Christian businessman that I think you guys would really hit it off." And Adam and I had coffee, 2 years ago?
About 2 years ago now, yeah.
2 years ago.
After I got back from an African mission trip where I met that gentleman, and said, I think you should connect. I think you should see what it's like on the other side,
Yeah, it was amazing. And we just kind of kept in touch with each other, for probably, at least a year and a half.
Yep.
Before everything kind of came to fruition there.
That's right.
Well, very thankful for that, and why don't you share just a little bit about yourself personally,
Sure.
Who Adam Mowbray is, and then maybe we'll dive into a little bit of your experience and why you're here.
Sure. Yeah, I'll start with the most important thing, which is I am a father and husband. I just celebrated a couple of days ago my 23rd wedding anniversary to my lovely wife, Amy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We have 2 kiddos, Caroline, who's 16, Graham, who's 12, and then we have the apple of all of our eye, Pepper, who's our 5-year-old mini schnauzer. We are blessed that the church is the heartbeat of our world. We believe heavily in service, heavily in community, and we are quite honestly just blessed beyond belief. So that's who I am personally. I love being outdoors. I think that's the most important thing to me. I love DIY work. I love being outdoors. That's the fun stuff. And then beyond that, from a work standpoint, background in finance and economics, did the kind of the classic corporate strategy, consulting, investment banking, and then had a 19-and-a-half-year career at Home Depot. And then at Home Depot, I did a variety of different roles through the leadership program, corporate strategy, mergers and acquisitions, and then the last 10 years were in home services, where ultimately I finished my career there as the chief operating officer before coming over here.
All right, we're going to get more into
Perfect.
that. And don't hold it against Adam, but he's a Kentucky Wildcat.
I should have started with that. So go Cats, Big Blue Nation right here.
Well, I would like just to say first and foremost, the first part of how you introduced yourself is really what attracted us to you. Just the type of man that you are, and the family man, and strong in your faith.
Yes.
And really wanting to bring that into your career.
Yes.
And I guess at Home Depot, where you were previously, that was a little bit more challenging in a company that size and
It's more challenging,
publicly.
but it is not impossible. I don't want people to think it's not
Sure.
impossible who are listening
Sure.
to this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I think right away we recognize that you were probably a good culture fit
Yeah.
here. We have uh, four core values that we try to live by here, and you really exhibited all those, and that was really appealing to us because I think going into this year, Jonathan and I wanted to bring somebody in with some experience to help run this business, and we were thinking, okay, maybe general manager
Hmm.
type position, and I firmly believe that the Lord crossed our paths, and we got a lot more than what we were expecting in terms of somebody coming into the business and really helping us take this to the next level. Um, but beyond that, I think that we should probably discuss why.
Yes.
Why are we growing?
Hmm.
Um, what are we trying to do with this business? And from our perspective, we want to make an impact.
Yes.
Obviously, we want to be the best um, window company that we can be. Not exactly the business, but we want to make an impact for our employees, for our community,
Yes.
and we felt like the best way to do that is to continue to increase the business and grow the business and serve uh, more customers to allow us this
That's
opportunity to,
right.
to be better servants. So, um, can you speak a little bit
Hmm.
to that?
Yeah, I think, one of the things that, not one of the things, I think there are multiple things that attracted me to this role and kind of that gravitational pull that you were talking about over the kind of couple years that we were talking, and what ultimately led me to come here. And I do believe that I was meant to come here, certainly, and I believe that opportunity
Yes.
was given to me, not necessarily. I mean, yes, by you guys, but also, the Lord paved the way for me. Because what is most attractive to me about this business is that is the purpose behind it. It's something I talk about a lot as a leader, which is, a lot of people talk about what they do, but they don't talk a lot about why they do it.
Exactly.
At North Georgia, it is very clear that we talk about why we do what we do alongside the what we do. It is extraordinarily important, and it's also life giving, quite frankly, in kingdom work to be able to do something with purpose and understanding that you're doing that to serve your community. You're right, that is not typical in this world, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't give it a shot. And so when I saw an opportunity to apply my business skills in an arena like that, and honor the legacy that you guys have built, and honestly create a broader, bigger testimony as to, hey, listen, it's not, you know, it's not you have to be a good business person or a good Christian. You can be both. You can be wildly successful and exhibit the principles of servant leadership, which is first and foremost in this business. We exist to serve our customers. We exist to serve our community, and we don't get it right all the time, but we are always going to make the customer happy. We're going to do the best that we can on every single job. Period.
Yeah.
Not because we have to, but because it's the right thing to do. And I think, walking into an organization like that and knowing that I have what it takes, or at least the appetite and the intensity to drive it to the next level and honor that legacy, is something I could not pass up.
Yeah. Do you recall the number one thing beyond
This
your
feels
your
like a
skills
test.
and capabilities that that certainly we were
Yeah.
attracted to and felt like that you could handle what we were trying to accomplish here in the business. But what was the number one thing that we talked
Well,
about when you came on board that was the most important thing for us?
I hope it's what I'm going to say as an answer, because we didn't pre-do this. But I think the thing that attracted you most, and what I appreciated is my character and the fact that I am faith forward in what I do.
Yeah.
Period.
That-
It's in that hit me. I'm sorry to expand on this, but it matters quite a bit to me. I could go through my resume and stuff like that and talk about all the things that I've done, and I kind of did a little bit there. But the thing that matters the most to me in my life is my faith. It is how I treat people in and outside of work. And to have somebody, respect my background and my, the pedigree and the papers and all that other stuff, but realistically be like, that's nice and everything, but we care about the type of man that you are.
That's right.
That's different. And that is something that I honor and I hope to pull throughout the business, not just with our employees, but also our partners and everybody that we do business with.
Yeah. And that's exactly why, and I think to sum it up, we do have that culture here
Oh, yeah.
in our business. And I think one of the things that we continue to talk about, and we talked about initially, was that your number one goal is to shepherd that culture, to make sure that we don't lose that uniqueness about our business, that while we all love coming in here and working together and serving each other and serving our customers in our community, like you said, and doing that in a faith forward way.
Yes. I think I told you on the first day, hey, I may earn my walking papers someday from you. I hope not. But it won't be because I won't be a faithful steward of this culture, because it matters too much. There's something very special about North Georgia. There's many businesses like this that it's very special. But when you have something that is about purpose, it doesn't just come. It's earned every day and it has to be nurtured. And it's not just up to the CEO to do that. It's up to everybody inside the company. But it's up to the CEO to make sure that that's empowered.
And is this something that you've learned through your life experiences growing up? How did this epiphany come to you?
I think it's 45 years of life lessons, but I think it's I think it's just being just coming through life and life experiences, the ups and the downs. You don't know down if you don't know up, and you don't know up if you don't know down. And I think I learned this later in life, rather than lamenting some of the experiences I've had, what do I learn from them? And then you just kind of put it all together as a puzzle. I don't have everything figured out. I'm learning every single day. But no, I think it's just life lessons from church, from work, from community. But I would say just overall being involved in people's lives and paying attention.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of those lessons.
Sure.
You mentioned that you were in various roles at Home Depot.
Yep.
Can you explain a little bit about those roles and some of the lessons that you took away from that?
Sure. Yeah. So obviously Home Depot is a very small company that no one knows. No, I had an awesome 19 and a half year career with Home Depot, and I have nothing but respect for the company.
Sure.
I
Great
learned
company.
so much from so many great leaders. I could shout them out, and and a lot of people would know a lot of those names.
Yes.
And I was fortunate to learn from a lot of them. So yeah, started my career there in kind of a business leadership program, then moved into corporate strategy, mergers and acquisitions, then the last 10 years, different roles within the home services group. And just to articulate a little bit about what home services means to those who don't know, it is a smaller part of Home Depot's business, but it is a business where Home Depot has about 4,500 independent third-party companies. North Georgia would be one if we worked with them, that do about 2 million jobs per year, and about $5 or $6 billion worth of revenue, somewhere along that line. So
just a small part.
It's a small part of a $175 billion company, but very valuable. And I learned a lot of lessons along the way. I think the things that I took away the most from Home Depot that certainly I brought here was the inverted pyramid. I learned about simplified and effective communication. When you have 475,000 associates and you want consistency, you have to be very clear. You have to be very consistent. You have to have very direct goals that you measure and you understand. So took away a lot of things from Home Depot. And realistically, at the end of the day, I think that the biggest takeaway is yes, it's a massive company, but ultimately it's a company made up of 475,000 employees. It is not a machine. Personal and individual relationships do matter. That's what motivates people. The brand is awesome. Everyone can resonate with a brand and everything like that. But when you're going in and day out, you want to make sure that you are cared for, your career is nurtured, and that you are supported, just no matter how big or how small the company.
Yeah. And how's the adaptation to coming from a business of that size coming into a much smaller business?
Yeah, I mean there are definitely differences. I never I never had to worry about operating cash flow at Home Depot just from a financial side. But I mean, just realistically, I would say my leadership style, not a tremendous amount of difference. I care deeply about individuals on my team. Yes, I had a much larger team at Home Depot, but I knew them all by name. I knew about their baseball teams. I knew all the other stuff. I cared a lot. So I would say leadership style, not too much of a change. Scale of finances, scale of the amount of business that was done, scale of the systems and support structure. Yeah, quite a bit different.
Wonderful. Well, when you were brought in, obviously, we talked extensively about this type of experience and how that could be very beneficial, to bring us into the future of the growth that we have planned. And one of the first things that you started working on was called our KEP.
Yes.
And I'll let you share what KEP means.
Sure.
Without getting specific in terms of
Right.
The actual plans.
Understood.
Let's talk a little bit about that growth so people understand really what you have been primarily engaged with.
Yeah, sure. KEP is short for Kingdom Expansion Plan. And so others might liken it to what is our growth strategy? Where are we going? How are we growing? Geographically, what's the pathway for how we're going to grow it? What do we need to shore up from an infrastructure standpoint? How do we get our financials and pro formas in place to make sure that we're growing wisely and that we're always protective of our values and shepherding the culture? So it's really a comprehensive plan and roadmap for the next 5 years as to where we're going to grow geographically, how we're going to grow geographically, and what we won't compromise from a cultural standpoint. So that is really kind of the mixture of what, without getting too deep into the plans, of what Kingdom Expansion Plan means. But it was named that way very intentionally. This is not growth strategy, North Georgia replacement windows. It is an understanding that the culture sits on top of everything that we're looking at as we move forward, understanding whose growth plan this is and that we exist to serve. We understand that nothing that we have is truly ours, that we are shepherds at the end of the day of this culture, of these resources, and that we will put them to good use to serve these communities that we're going to move into.
Yeah, kind of going back to that why and how we do it.
Correct.
There's a lot of ways to grow, and we want to make sure that we do it in the right way.
Correct.
So as we continue to grow, obviously we're going to be able to serve more communities.
Yeah.
How do you see the vision going forward for the business and the type of impact that we can make not only here in Georgia, but maybe beyond in the Southeast. What are some of the key things that you see that we're going to be able to do, and obviously providing opportunities for employees to continue to grow as well, and more volume in the business. But what is driving that? What do you see as the potential for this business?
I mean, I think it's exciting. I think when we look at the customer reviews that we have, and we hover at a 4.999 or whatever it is, it's wonderful to know that our heart is in it and we execute exactly what we say we are going to do, and then we go above and beyond. And I think the really cool thing about our reviews, and as we get into some of the Guild quality reviews and kind of dig deeper, people, yes, they love the product, they love the experience, but they love the way that we treat them as family. And so what really gets me excited about New Community is knowing that there are customers out there who do not have this, or perhaps do not have this as an option, and knowing that what waits around the corner for them and their communities and their experiences is us moving into that place so that we can deliver that customer experience to them. We can invite them into the family, and it also can be a testimony to what we believe in, and demonstrate that, once again, as I said earlier, you don't have to either be a good business or practice good principles. You can do both at the same time. So I look forward to bringing that into communities. Also, it's not just about business. We do give back a lot to the communities that we serve. We're involved in a lot in the communities that we serve. I look forward to meeting a lot of new people in a lot of new places. So that's what I'm very excited about.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, because, and I'm going to ask you, some of your favorite things about the business as well. But, one of my favorite things is in how I stay connected, and Jonathan as well, in our leadership team, to every customer. We're at a size now where we have a little bit of volume. There's no way that we can personally know every single customer that we're dealing with. Maybe that was good when we started up,
right,
and we knew where every job was and everything. But what we do get to track, and this is one of my favorite things, is we survey every customer with a third-party company we've been using since I think 2010 or 2011.
Right.
Guild Quality. Every Infinity window and door customer that we bring on, we do that independent survey, and it's kind of our report card of how we did. And even as early, and these come in almost daily, because people fill out the surveys at different points, and that's really one of my favorite things, and how I've stayed connected with our customers. Every once in a while you'll have something on there that needs to be addressed,
right?
But for the most part, it's so refreshing to read those comments. And even as early as this morning, somebody put, "Hey, I wish other contractors performed the way that North Georgia, and were as knowledgeable and as courteous and punctual." And I forget, it was just a beautifully written review. It's almost like we couldn't have paid somebody to write something.
Those are fun to send to the team.
It's so authentic.
Yes, it is.
And it's every day we're getting those.
Yes.
So I'm super excited that we're going to be able to bring that to more people.
Absolutely. And that's ultimately what it's all about. And it goes back to what does Kingdom Expansion Plan means. It means bringing that energy, bringing that point of view, bringing that understanding into new communities, and spreading the word.
Yeah,
and the actions.
Yeah,
Big James guy.
Yeah, if we can do that, I think we can agree that's the definition of success.
I would agree
for sure. Well, that's one of my favorite things. What are you loving about the business?
Oh, what do I love about the business? I mean, it's honestly a blessing every day to come here. It's fun. I love being able to reach out and touch both sides of the business. I love the trust, and I appreciate the trust that you guys have placed in me. I love interacting with the team. I love being able to go on the morning walks and give people high fives, and same thing at the end of the day. I love stretching people's capabilities. I love the growth that we see. already here throughout. Obviously, the growth of the business enables growth of other opportunities within the business. That's my favorite thing to do, is to grow careers. And I mean, it's such a great laundry list of things so far that we've been able to do. And I also feel honored to be able to have made changes, positive changes so far early in my tenure, that are complementary to the vision that you guys have put in place. So I'm very encouraged. I'm grateful that we've already started growing geographically to certain other places. So, I mean, it's fun to be a part of this ride, but I take it seriously every single day. And we continue to focus on earning that business and earning the right to grow through every single customer interaction we have. I mean, it doesn't escape me, and I wouldn't have it any other way, that the majority of our business is referral and repeat, not through the typical kind of old school way of my thinking, SEO and SEM. We still invest in that. But ultimately, we bank on our actions as being our conduit to growth, and I'd rather have it no other way.
That's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about our team here.
Let's
You know,
do.
what has been your experience? I know you mentioned you love coming into work.
I do.
That's not going to be the case if you work in a toxic workplace.
No,
So
I've
I
had good
imagine
bosses,
we're
and
far from that.
that's right.
But let's talk about some of the people aspects
Sure.
of the business.
Love it.
Yeah. What do you see in there? What was your first intake? How have you been welcomed into the business?
Well,
And what do you appreciate about the people that you're working with?
Well, I would say, I'd go back to what attracted me to the business. Um, and, that was a big change for me, going from a multi-$100 billion company to thinking I'm going to go to, a much, much, much smaller company. Is this right for me?
A lot less resources.
A lot less resources. But you guys invited me into a leadership team meeting, and then you invited me into a community meeting, where we were holding a benefit here inside the showroom, which you guys should all come and see. It's beautiful. Um, and I just it was so foreign to me, but so wonderful. And at that point, in those two meetings, meeting the type of people that were here, seeing their hearts, seeing how it truly was run this way. I mean, you really, for the first time in my professional career, my head and my heart were about as close as they could possibly be. Um, you know, and and with that, I went back and I talked to my wife, Amy, and I was like, this, what, this may work, this may not work. I'm not sure, but you better believe I'm giving this a shot, because this is what I want to do. And so, I took that leap of faith, and I would just say every single day, is it sunshine and rainbows every single day? No, it's not. But we have a culture here, and we have people here, um, who want to wake up every day and do the right thing for the customer, and understand that this is not, especially with our leadership team, it's not about them. It's about the team, it's about the customer, and it's about our overall purpose. That did not have to be drilled into anybody's mind. That was already there. And it just makes my authentic leadership style and how we want to grow this business collectively that much easier. And so, yeah, I celebrate the people. I think it's wonderful. We have a lot of fun around here. We're very passionate about what we do. And so, yeah, I mean, there wasn't any type of material change need to happen. I just love pouring gasoline on the fire and making sure we take care of every single customer and earn the business every day.
Yeah, and that was pretty awesome that you got to take a look under the hood, so to speak, before joining the business, and you know, really appreciate you diving in and how fully immersed you are in the business in all areas.
Yes.
I know you were a little bit more operational
Mm-hmm.
on the operational side at Home Depot, but you know, you've jumped right in a perfect fit into marketing and sales and you know, the finance and accounting area, just all aspects of the business.
Love it.
Has that been challenging for
You know, yes, I'm not going to say it's not challenging, but I would say I love it. because I just personally, my makeup, I do love a challenge, and I do firmly believe that you should be learning every day. And send a note to the team about getting 1% better every day. If you're not learning, then you're stale. And if you're stale, you're probably not going to be motivated. And if you're not motivated, you're probably not going to like what you're doing. So I make it a point to learn, technical skills, soft skills, learn about the team every single day that I come in. So yes,
one of our core values, by the way.
One of our core values. And so while, yes, operationally, operational and strategy background is where I come from, and I was learning and nurturing that kind of on scale at Home Depot. Here, I'm growing, kind of spreading my wings out a little bit further with a bunch of different disciplines, as you mentioned. So I love it. I love the challenge. I love learning. Certainly, learning is not going to hurt anybody, and I would encourage anyone to do that.
Sure. Well, hopefully, the people that are listening out there watching this have got to learn a little bit more about you. Appreciate you being very open and sharing a little bit about your background. Any final parting messages, for those that may be listening, our North Georgia Replacement Windows team? I know they tune in, our customers, our partners. We have a lot of people that are listening to this. What would your message be to them?
I mean, first and foremost, I would just say gratitude. I'm grateful. I don't take it lightly that I am coming in and sitting on the shoulders of people who have built this business, and I understand that it's you and Jonathan, but so many people, so many wonderful people over the years who have built this business on faith. And that is not something I will take lightly. Yes, I love chasing the numbers, and yes, I love chasing the growth, and yes, I love growing people's careers and things like that. But I care deeply about what got us here and moving that forward. So I'm grateful to not just the team and not just to you guys, but also the partners. We have some phenomenal partners. We have outstanding partners.
Yes, we do.
And outstanding relationships, personal relationships with those partners who are very thoughtful. And I've had the opportunity, great fortune to go meet them too. So I would say
we're in it together, right?
I mean, we are in it together. So I would just say gratitude abounds for me about where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. I would say, I will never forget where we came from, but I'm very excited about the growth that we have ahead of us. That is going to happen. But we, once again, last thing I will say is, that is not given. And that's not something that we have a birthright to. That is something that we have to earn every single customer at a time. And I'd rather have it no other way. As we talked about it before, there's many different ways that we can grow. And as listeners may know, there's a lot of different models out there in our marketplace, whether it be large competitors, private equity backed competitors, all that other stuff. We chose to stay a private enterprise to make sure that we're growing it the right way. And I think that is the right way to go. I'm just very excited, thankful, grateful, super excited about the road ahead. And I think everyone should be pumped about it.
We are. Well, I would just like to wrap up by just expressing our gratitude and just saying thank you for being here. You are a blessing to this business, our entire team here, our customers, our partners. You're adding so much value, to all of us overall, and we sincerely appreciate that. And we're thankful to the Lord that you are here and part of this team. So,
well, I am grateful, and thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Window Wisdom Podcast, brought to you by North Georgia Replacement Windows. Be sure to rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on social media at NG Windows and visit our website at ngwindows.com. So whether you're exploring replacement windows and doors, or you simply need someone to pray for you or your family, we're here for you. Until next time, take care, and we'll connect again on the Window Wisdom Podcast.